Welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy. Here we are looking at Bitcoin CME futures on the daily time frame. And I just want to point out that we opened today, yesterday, whatever day, the start of the new week, with no gap here. So it always seems that we just open right at the correct place after whatever we do on the weekend. So there you have that. That's good. Now, look at all the green here. This is great. And as you can see, futures here is trading at 650, about 650 premium to spot. Let's go ahead and look at spot. Everything's green, green, green. What's red? Well, see, I got a couple of those. Anyway, I guess it depends on whether it's USDT or USD and what exchanges those are on. I don't know. Oh, the music token is down. Look at everything's green except for those two. Green, 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 green. Yay! What's XRP? Is XRP? It's even moving. I don't know what that is. Everything's green. Everybody's green. Yay. Good job, people. Okay, all right, here we are. Bitcoin US dollar index on the daily time frame. Got a big green candle on the daily there forming. Now, looks like we do have a breakout here of our ascending triangle pattern. Don't follow the dot on my screen, follow the cursor. Not ascending triangle, I meant symmetrical triangle. And to be clear, we are not in the clear until we break above our new all-time high of whatever it is, 73,700, around there. We need to clearly break above that. Now, I imagine that we would, if we do so, we would break up and come down and retest it. Certainly. Now, if we do break above there, potential targets are the top of this blue channel at 79, about 79,000 and change. The top of the purple channel at about 87 and a half. 79 and a half, 87 and a half. Those are possible targets before we see maybe some more sideways action. And if it takes all week to get there, let's see. End of the week. Yeah, about 80,000 or 88,000. Now let me just switch to an hourly, because I do want to show you that on the hourly here, we did come up to the blue line that, it's part of the upper blue line that I said was a target. This is our blue parallel channel group. And if I zoom out more, this is the bottom of the blue. There's two blue channels. This is the bottom. They both are set here at this bottom at 52,000. One of them comes up to here at about 70,700. Although they are angled, so those numbers change all the time. The other one, the top of it is about 79 and a half thousand. Now, I just want to point out that we do recognize price action is recognizing this on the hourly as we came right up to the blue line and got rejected briefly before pushing through. It's always good to note that the lines are recognized because that will indicate the potential targets in the future at the tops or center lines of these channels as we travel through them. So, okay, so that's if we do break through 73,700. Now, it's quite possible and would almost be expected to have a rejection here at 73,700, or at least have some sort of struggle here. We do see a rejection. I would see a rejection back down to this blue line here. We'd like to hold that, see how that line is angled upwards. Be really, really good if we held this blue line here and then maybe even have some consolidation in this area before finally breaking out of the 73,700 level. That is certainly a possibility here. Also, we could, if we do not hold the blue line, we could come down to the line that represents the top of our symmetrical triangle, down around 69,000 and a half or so. As well, we could continue all the way down to about 69,000, which is our previous all-time high. If we did do that, though, that would be a little bit concerning, as we have, I believe, thoroughly tested that for support and resistance and really need to move on from there. Of course, too, we could come down, though, still. Maybe we're not done with this area and come down to the bottom of our symmetrical triangle, the bottom of our purple channel, which is at about 66,000 and a half. Now, that would totally be in line with, that would be totally cool if we did that. I mean, that would be the worst case scenario as far as I'm concerned. However, it still keeps us out of the Gaussian channel, which is this green dashed line here. This is my representation of it and prediction of it in the future. And if you've been watching, you should be well aware of that. And I'll switch to a daily in a second and verify that with you. Now, we do want to stay out of there, and I pointed out on the last video that we still could stay out of there and trade at the bottom, within the bottom of this purple parallel channel, and the top at 73,700, and trade in this region here all the way into the halving. And form then transition from a symmetrical triangle into a ascending triangle with 73,700 as the top and the bottom of the purple channel as the base. Now, if we did do that into the halving, then I would see us on breakout come up to the top of the purple channel, maybe briefly stopping at the center line at around 80,000, but then continuing on up to about 90,000. So that's what I see. Could continue, could break out above here and continue upwards. And it would be totally okay if we did stay down in this region for further consolidation into the halving. One thing I do want to point out is these people here playing with this leverage. I can't imagine being leveraged all the way down to price action like this and being so risky. This is something that I have not been watching in the past and only have been watching it recently. So I don't know if this is just typical and this is just how people trade. Seems pretty risky to me. Even this yellow down here at 69,000. These guys are looking to get as much, the exchanges, market makers, whoever, the whales, whoever's running the show here, making these moves, they're looking to suck up all this liquidity. So I think it's really stupid having all this right here. So you see all this yellow down here at 69,000. That's not safe. It's not safe one bit. 69,000 is just right here. Could easily come back down and suck all that up. I don't know. I don't know how many. There's a lot more information needed, I guess. How many orders are out there? Beyond the scope of what I'm doing here. So, I don't know. But everything's, and keep in mind, everything changes constantly. So, it's really important to keep up to date with things. And if you're trading on a more frequent time frame, it's a lot of work, a lot of information to keep up with. So here on the daily, I said we would switch to this, turn on the daily Gaussian channel. There it is. And you can see that my line pretty accurately. Now it's a curved line. It's really hard to set these 3 points and get the curve really accurate, but that's as close as I can get here. And it looks to me like it's a pretty good estimate of how things could play out. And the fact that all these things meet up right here is what leads me to believe that we could still further consolidate in this region and just fake people out thinking that we would fall into here. And typically what would happen if we did fall into the Gaussian channel is that we would, at minimum, trade sideways through it, which would be the same as, let me just see if I can do this and do this and just pull that down. Well, that's not accurate at all. There we go. Something like that. Get out of there. All right. So anyway, that's real rough, but I just wanted to at least put something there. So at minimum, if we did fall into the Gaussian channel, we would continue at least sideways, which would be the same effect as falling into it. I just don't see this. I mean, I'm putting it out there as a worst case scenario, but I don't see it here unless we had other information coming in, like Gary Gensler was on a rampage against a whole bunch of stuff, and it looked like, there was really a lot of bad stuff going on, and he had a case against, taking everything down and whatever. But I don't want to leave this unaddressed. But I do think that we avoid this and then maybe possibly come into it later on up here once we get a little bit higher up. Just saying, that's what that's what I think. That's what I think's going to happen. So, okay, let's see what happens today. We'll leave it there. Just wanted to point those things out to you. And everything's green. Oh, look at this. This is nice. What time is it? It's 4:20. Market opens. Market opens in just two more hours, and we're already busting a move. This is this is pretty bullish, but still, like I said, we need to bust through here. Now, also let me switch to something else. So here we're looking at the Fidelity Wise Origin Bitcoin Trust. And already pre-market is trading at 63.40, which is $4.50 above above Friday's close. And the all-time high for this is about 64.40, so about $1 away from its all-time high. So presumably it will open up here. If it opens up on the center line here, we could come up to 66. Let me do this. I like doing this because I like tying these things together. We did open here today. Well, let me just measure from where we are at. Right there. Let me open this up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to start all over. Let's open this up a little bit. There we go. Now, okay, here we're measuring here from where we are at right now to the top of this channel. That's 5%. Okay, now we're going to go back to our Bitcoin chart here, and on the US dollar index on the daily time frame, and measure on from where we're at now, 5%. Takes us about there. All right, so that kind of tells me something what we may do today. Full bullish case for today is that we come up to the center line of the purple channel right here, get a rejection, come back down and retest the top of the our previous all-time high at 73,700. I mean our most recent, the all-time high, the current all-time high. This after setting a new one up here at 75, 75.4, 75.3, and come back down to 73.7. I think that if we did that today, that would be really remarkable, and just totally awesome, dude. Switch to an hourly. I wanted to do one more thing. Hourly. Yeah, maybe about 75,500. Well, let's see. Let's get out into the middle of the day here. 75.6. Back down to 75.3. Be very reasonable, very bullish, and everybody would be very, very happy. Now let's go back to a daily. We want to look at the. I don't know what the point really is, but we know that looking at the RSI is going to be very positive. Give us very good news here that we're broken through the moving average here. It's very, very bullish. Now, what happened, I noticed over here, we had a similar circumstance. We broke through right here, had a nice little rally. Where is it? Oh my gosh. There we are. So let's take a look at that. When we did break through here, like on this, okay, what the hell? From there up to the top of this, it's about a 10% move. And then did a little bit of consolidation. So I think maybe we'll get something similar to that move right there. Come up 5-10%, get a little consolidation, and then continue on upwards for a bigger move. I think something like that could play out here. Yeah. Come up here, consolidate here a little bit, and then, into the halving. Wait, where are we? The next weekend would be right here. Oh, so this is the start of next week. Well, let's see what happens today and discuss the rest later on. Okay, like, subscribe, see you next time.